Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite. Today's date is Friday, February 25th, 2022. It is just a lot of stuff is happening right now. It's actually pretty nuts what's going on. Russia declared war on the Ukraine and started invading it, and the crypto markets, they rallied. They had a big crash, or not really that big, but they had a little bit of a crash, and a lot of people panic sold down at the bottom, and now it has been rallying off of the bottom. Bitcoin's up 11 or 12%. Ethereum is up over 20%. Absolutely crazy. If we go into the VIP, you could see the alerts were going off. Like it said, this was yesterday, alerts by VET, by buying here, buying FTM, FTM buying now, Algo buying a moon bag. If we click on one of them, then you could press the play button and you could see that, wait a minute, this isn't it. It's right. Wait, is it it? Is that it? Oh my gosh, that was it. Oh my gosh, this was from weeks ago. This was from weeks and weeks and weeks ago. So yeah, it was, I guess right there, although this was Algo 0.81 and now it's at 0.83. So it's crazy because that was Algo FTM. Let's check this out. I don't know. I haven't clicked on this, but we'll see. Buying here. So this is from January. I said buy at $1.31. And look at how insane that is. That's so insane. Up 30%. Wow. So yeah, and then hitting support, buying here Ethereum. So this is actually a big reason why when it comes to technical analysis, 99% or 95% of what I do is based off technicals, not off of fundamentals, because yesterday everyone was freaking out, and today yesterday the technicals said to buy, and today everything is up drastically. So yeah, that's just go with the technicals, you know. And now it's sort of confusing because it's like, are things gonna go up, continue going up? It certainly looks like it's gonna go up at least a little bit more, and because everyone's on the sidelines or everyone's just waiting. I don't think that this was the bottom. I just really don't think that this was the bottom, because I think that the true bottom is going to be whenever China does whatever it's going to do when it comes to war with, I believe it's Taiwan. And so that is another really big issue that a lot of people aren't talking about. Obviously, everyone's talking about Russia right now, but I think that China will do something sort of drastic. And when that happens, the prices will tank pretty drastically, and it'll hit the previous prices, like Bitcoin 30,000, 29 to 31,000. Ethereum, let's look at Ethereum, 23,000. So maybe 18,000, like where it was back in July, and do a double bottom type of deal. And it's honestly even there's a possibility of the prices going even lower than that. It's just right now, very, 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 very short term. Obviously, things are going up, but things went up, you know, from here to here, and that was, and then they came back down. And obviously, things came up right from here to here, and then it came back down. There are bounces. So I'm going to have to figure out whether or not to play these bounces. I mean, whether or not to continue to hold what I bought, or to buy more, or to sell, or whatever. And I'm going to be figuring that out after I make this video, because right now the video that this is going to be on my investment portfolio, because yesterday I made a video talking about my investment portfolio, and I had to stop because my alerts, the amount of alerts that I have set, reached 400. So I went in and I was able to delete 67 of them. So now I have 313 active alerts used from 400. So I could put 87 more alerts in, and that will, you know, that's plenty of time. I'm also creating this presentation right here about my investment portfolio, and the goal is basically outperforming Bitcoin or Ethereum by investing into trading lower cap market cap projects. And all these projects have to have great long-term potential. And I'm going to have a strategy by investing into them, making sure that they meet my high criteria, trading based off of high time frames, never getting greedy, and a couple other things. And I'm gonna finish this presentation. I'm gonna have like a whole big presentation up. But right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my actual portfolio, which is right here. This is my investment longer swing trading portfolio, and go over the coins that I own right now, and then pretty much plot them out and continue to plot them out. See where I plotted them out from before, and then I'm going to see if anything's changed. So I did plot out a lot of these coins. I might have actually plotted out all of these coins in my investment portfolio channel, which is in the VIP. So I might have plotted all of them out a while ago. So I'm gonna be going through them and just seeing, do I still want to be in the same, do I still want to buy them at the same prices that I said I want to buy them at, or am I going to change some things up? And I'm going to start off with, let's see, UOS was the last one. So if I click back here, yeah, I'm gonna go through KDA, VXV, Glitch, Cordo, Luna, Triaz, Elon, MNW. Yeah, I'm gonna go through all of these actually. So I'm gonna get it all set up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I just went through a lot of the different coins in my portfolio and just overall what I have in my portfolio. And honestly, I feel like I almost have too many coins, and I would really like to consolidate a lot of them, or a lot of my long-term investments, or maybe just, I suppose, get more clarity into some of them, because I definitely made the mistake and put money into certain things that were really hype at the time and didn't necessarily use the most judgment in terms of fundamental analysis on these different coins, or on maybe just a couple of them. On the vast majority of them, I definitely know what I'm doing, or I definitely know that I put in what I put my money into, and I'm very, very confident in them. But I do want to sort of consolidate and then put more money into the ones that I have a lot more confidence in, and just make sure that my portfolio has the allocations put towards the higher confidence plays, because overall, cryptocurrency is still so early that you could really just put your money into these super high confidence plays that have a lot of potential. And it's the same thing as putting it into Apple or Microsoft or Google or any of these companies after the big .com boom. Even though those were the biggest companies at the time in 2000, they ended up actually being the biggest winners, over time. It's the same thing that's happening right now with cryptocurrency. You don't necessarily need to put it into little tiny micro caps, even though that's what people are, sort of selling you on. My philosophy is more like, okay, let's put it into the things that have really, really good fundamentals that are going to be here for a very long time, and that are going to have the highest probability of being the Googles and the Apples and the Microsofts of the world. Because just like how what happened in the internet boom is that we had the gigantic crash, or there was a gigantic crash in 2000 or 2001, and all these big internet companies crashed. 90% of them never actually came back. The same thing's going to happen with cryptocurrency, where the vast majority of these cryptocurrencies are not going to necessarily recover. But the big ones, Bitcoin, Ethereum, hopefully Quant Network, Solana, Engine, Mana, UOS, Luna, and a lot of these other big companies that have a lot of backing and a lot of good use cases and people and good management teams and just everything, are going to be the real winners here over the long run, and still provide you with substantial gains, even though they're already higher market cap. So that's just like my philosophy about things. Of course, there's some things where I want to get into for the micro caps, for the very, very small low cap things, but that's going to be sort of something separate compared to necessarily like my longer term investment portfolio. And also, I did mention that my long-term investment portfolio, what I previously used to do was to trade and then take the money from my trading account and then put it into my long-term investment account and just like not touch it. But what I realized is that I could trade better than my long-term investing account. So now what I do is I take my trades and I put it into my long-term investment account only when the prices are going down and we're in a bear market and the prices are at a very, very big discount. But as the prices go up and things start getting of what we like to call exuberant, or I forget the actual wording for it or the actual phrase, but it's exuberance or something like that, where there's just so much craze in the market and the prices are just going way too high or just extraordinarily high. That's when I want to take my money from my investment account and start hedging it. So I will take money from my investment account and start putting it into my trading account to start taking some profits. So I'm going to be going into my actual technique and my strategy. I went to my strategy in my last video, so you could watch that. And I'm going to start going into the actual coins, now. So I'll do a quick overview of what we already went through, and then I'll just keep on going through all of the different coins. So let's just go through all of these. I'm going to bring these up and then I will go through them. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I just went through all of the different coins that I have, or mostly all of the different coins that I have in my investment portfolio. And I created charts for all of them. So I'm going to be going through all of them right now. Of course, we will start off with Bitcoin and then go into ETH, Quant, Sol, Engine Mana, all this other stuff, right? And this is going to be solely for my investment portfolio. This is not going to be for my trading portfolio. My trading portfolio is something totally different. My investment portfolio is a completely separate entity than my trading portfolio. In my investment portfolio, I'm literally just going to put these trades on and I'm going to, basically put these trades on. They're very long-term trades. And then I'm just going to walk away. And then whenever the alerts go off and the targets get hit, then I will reassess. But other than that, I'm never going to touch them. And I'm even going to go so far as to create a whole new 3 commas account just so I have these separate from my trading account, so I don't see them within the UI of the UX of the 3 commas software when I'm putting on my other trades for my actual trades. And so that is a very important distinction. These are long-term investments. These could go down by 50% even, and hopefully they won't because I'm going to be getting in at really good prices, but these could go down drastically, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be holding them because it's a long-term conviction. So just remember that. Anyway, I still did plot them out at key levels. So let's just start going through them. Okay, so first off, of course, is Bitcoin. And right now, it actually just had a huge jump up. I think it did hit my 43,000 level. So it did. So I sold some right here. And I plan on buying some back a little bit lower. And when I say we'll sell some here to rebuy, it means that I'll sell some here and I will rebuy a little bit lower. I'm not going to rebuy here. I'm going to rebuy just a little bit lower just to accumulate a little bit more Bitcoin. Remember, all of these, or any of these cryptocurrencies, all these cryptocurrencies are my long-term investments. I want to have as many cryptocurrency of this specific cryptocurrency as possible. The US dollar amount isn't really relevant as long as I have more cryptocurrency than I did before. So I sold some here. Maybe I will buy it back literally 5% lower and it ends up dropping all the way down 30% lower. Doesn't really matter to me because I bought it back 5% lower and I accumulated 5% more Bitcoin. So it's a different mindset, totally different mindset. Of course, obviously, it would be great if I sell it here and then rebuy it back here and it falls and I rebuy it back here. That would be amazing. But really, ideally, I just really want more Bitcoin and more cryptocurrencies in general. And I really want to beat out the interest rates that you get from Nexo or Coinbase or BlockFi or Celsius Network or any of these high interest accounts. That's my main goal over here, is to beat out these interest rates. So we're going to that's the game plan. And so when you see this, you have to determine for yourself when you want to get back. Do you want to just get back 5% lower, or do you want to maybe look left and see that this is some big resistance right here? So maybe now it's going to be support, and maybe you want to get back 9% lower. It's going to be up to you. I can't really decide that because it's going to be on a basis depending on what the market's doing, depending on a whole lot of factors, basically whether I'm going to get back in right away or get back in 5% or get back in 10%, you know. But these are I do have my sell orders in place, that's for sure. So I do have my sell orders, but I will be selling at these different levels. So that at least is there. And if it comes back down to my buy zones, I will be buying at these levels no matter what. So this is Bitcoin. This is my Bitcoin long-term investment game plan. You can see it's on the weekly time frame. Normally I plot it out on the daily, but I always start off on the weekly, if not the monthly, and then I go from there. I go from the monthly to the weekly. Actually, with Bitcoin, I start off on the yearly and then go from the yearly to the monthly to the weekly, just to get a better picture of everything. And you could clearly see on the weekly, look at this, like support, broke through support, retested it as resistance, broke down, came back up, retested it as resistance again twice, 2 weeks in a row, and then broke down again. And now we're back retesting it again. So will this continue to be resistance again, or will we break above it? If we break above it, then, you know, I don't think we're going to break above it immediately. I think we're going to come back down a little bit and I'll rebuy, and then we'll shoot up possibly, or honestly, it's so uncertain. It's so uncertain what will happen right now. So all I know is that I'm playing out the key levels and I'm trying to remove as much emotion as possible. That's why I took my time doing all of this, and I put the orders in, and that way I could just put the orders in and just step away. And I put the orders in while I'm nice, calm, and collective, and then I don't need to think about it when something crazy is going on. Because what if China just, you know, invades Taiwan or something like that, and then the market crashes 27%, and it falls all the way down from like 43,000 down to 30,000 in one candle? That's totally possible. So if I have my orders in beforehand and I set everything up and I do it while I'm calm and collected, that is when I can really beat out basically all of the people who are trading based off of emotions, basing off of feelings, trading based off of fear and greed and all of this other stuff. I just trade based off of technicals this way. So this is my Bitcoin long-term investment portfolio trading analysis. And yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to be all back in at 30,500. And if it happens to fall below that, if it happens to fall down to 25,000, that's when I'm really going to sell all my stuff, everything I have, take out loans, and go all in Bitcoin, because this is going to be a huge bear trap, excuse me. So that's at least in my opinion. So I got the alerts in, and we're going to see what happens. So that's Bitcoin. Okay, so we did Bitcoin, so now I have Ethereum, and for Ethereum, the game plan is if it comes down to 2030, that's when I'm going to start averaging in, and then I'll just be averaging in all the way starting here, all the way down to 1423, and I don't know if I'm going to get there, but this is pretty much the game plan. And then obviously if it reaches around 3,000, you know, it's heavy resistance, so I'll take some profit there. And same thing for up here at just under 4,000. And then of course, this is the last big resistance, so I'll take some profit here. So right now we had a big spike up, but we did not reach the level quite yet. So for my investment accounts, I haven't taken profits, not that I really had too much to begin with. So I'm just going to have to wait until it reaches here or it doesn't. Next up, we got Quant Network. So Quant Network, what I'm going to do is my ideal buy zone is down at, you know, $85, $86. So if it reaches $86, that's when I'm going to go in my investment account. And I'm going to start stacking orders in here, and or maybe I'll just buy it at 86. Yeah, in fact, I'm just going to buy it at 86, and then I'm just going to wait. So it might come down, you know, like I said, it might come down to 75, 65, something like that. Doesn't really matter to me in my investment account, because my investment account is going to be for the long term. So I'll just buy it here and simply wait, because that's what, let's see, that would be 80%. Yeah, that's 80% off the top, you know, you gotta, so I'll just buy it and then wait if it comes back down here again. Otherwise, I'm selling at 146, and then I'll sell some more at 199 right underneath 200, big psychological resistance, and then again up here. But all of these I'm gonna sell, rebuy, sell, rebuy, sell, rebuy, because if this happens, then we'll be in a big uptrend, and that'll be great. So yeah, just gonna wait till 86.11 is hit to buy my quant. After quant, I have Solana, and for Solana, really $55.36 is my big play. In fact, I'm gonna raise this up just to $57 because I want to get in just a tad bit early, so maybe $58. So this will be $58, and if I'll get in here at Solana, and this will be a really big bag for me if I do buy it. I like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure up, and I think that it'll hit the 78.6. Maybe it'll come down to $34, but I don't know. I sort of doubt it because it's freaking Solana. So I'm gonna be going all in at 55, and then if it comes down to 34, then I guess I'll just be stacking in a lot more for Solana. But yeah, 55 is definitely my target for here. And then of course, if it comes up to 117, then I'll be selling it to buy back lower. And so far it went up from 86 to 99, just under 100. So maybe it'll reach here. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna be selling it if it reaches here, and I'm gonna be buying it if it reaches here, and then I'll buy more if it reaches here. So that's Solana. And then after Solana, we got Engine Coin, one of my favorites, all-time favorites. Love Engine Coin. Looking at this, we have the weekly support down here. You can see lots of support. Boom, 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 boom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 support right here. Yeah, sorry, that took me a second. 1.115 is such a good buy, but I think I'm gonna wait until 94.943 because I think that this could wick down here. I just have a good feeling that it could wick down here, so I'd rather just wait for this because it could honestly come all the way down to 0.706. But I will want to get in here because I think Engine is one of my big term plays, long-term plays. Really love it. It has the NFT space, it has the gaming space. It's all about what I'm all about. So yeah, right here is where my buy order will be for Engine Coin. After Engine, we have Mana Decentraland, one of the biggest coins in crypto. It is very close to Meta, which is Facebook, so I think it's going to do very well. It did rally 800% or 730%. Basically off of the fact that Facebook changed its name to Meta, and Mana was close to that name. So it does have some time or some room to go down. It's hitting the resistance right now. Maybe it'll pop up. I don't really know what's going to happen. All I know is that if it happens to come down to 1.8193, that's where I will look to sell a bounce. I'll look to buy, and then I will sell it into here if it reaches here, because I do think that it will ultimately reach about 1.3521, and honestly I'll get in at 1.3521. That's where I will that's where I'll put my buys for this. So I'll put my original buys right here, and then I'll try to sell it, and then I'll try to buy more back down here, because I'm pretty certain that we will get a bounce from right here. But I also think that it'll fall down and end up reaching this level, maybe a little bit above this level, but pretty close. So I'll probably put it for 1.4. Yeah, I'll probably just put it for 1.4 and have that be my buy. But yeah, I'm gonna buy here. So this is Mana, and yeah, I just gotta wait and see. And by the way, if these never get hit, I mean, that's fine. I'm just gonna be holding USDT or whatever until something happens. And if these never get hit, then it's like I'm just gonna hold the USDT in the accounts. I already have about a little bit more than half of the account right now is already in coins, but I have about half of it that's not. So, or maybe actually a little bit less than half that's not. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I'm totally comfortable holding my USDT until these prices either get hit or they don't. This is like my investment. Like, they either get hit or they don't. And that's going to be it. Yeah. And then after Mana, we have UOS or Ultra. This is an incredible token that is, once again, part of the gaming gaming sphere, in the crypto sphere, gaming category. And you could read all this right here, but this is why I'm super bullish on it. I bought it right here, ended up selling it for like 30% gains. Wish I just held it. It's crazy. I mean, this isn't a bear market. This isn't a downtrend, but like it almost looks like it's honestly reversing course, like changing market structure. So I don't really know if it'll hit any of these again. I honestly 0.416. I don't think that it'll hit here unless we get really into a real bear market, like a real bear market. So that'll be 65% down. That'll be 82%. I mean, actually 82%. That's typical. That is typical of it. I wish I had the Fibonacci on here. So give me 1 second. Let me just get the Fibonacci on here. And yeah, okay. So after doing a little bit more, after just going back with it and plotting the Fibonacci's, I like this better. I like 0.733 as a good buy-in as opposed to 0.65. That's just a little bit too low for me. And then also 0.488 as opposed to 0.416. Because these were just based off of the support and resistance levels, but this one has a little bit more to go off of, basing it off of the Fibonacci. So I do like this, and I'm going to be buying UOS as an investment if it reaches here, and then also if it reaches here. And also, once again, just as a reminder, the reason I'm doing all this, and I always set the alerts. So I'm setting the alerts in at these levels so that the members of the VIP group in the Discord group right here in the VIP Discord can get the alerts when they go off in the alerts section, So that is what you get if you join the Crypto Elite VIP. And you could join it by going to cryptoelite.com/home, and you could get the mastery course here, or you could get the VIP by clicking here. Just an FYI. But now let's go back to the actual charts of my investment portfolio. After UOS, we have MNW, Morpheus Network. I love Morpheus Network. I think it's a great project, and so I have a lot of it, and I've been buying it for a long time. And my buy for my investment portfolio is right here at 0.6488. If it falls here, I will sell on if it falls below this level, like let's say it falls below 49 cents, which is the bottom, then I will try to get out on a retest up to up to this level, right? So let's say it falls down here, I'll probably thinking about that, I don't think that that's actually the best move because it's such a good project. This is my investment account. See, this is what I do when I'm going through these things. I'm like, do I really want to do this? Because look at this. Look at what happened with Woo. I actually did that with Woo, to where I bought it right here, and then it fell, and then I was like, okay, it fell below this giant support. So then I put a sell order right here where I bought it, and then it came back up to where I bought it, and I sold it, for zero profit, 0% loss, 0% gain. But now it's above it, and so I should have just stuck with it. So you know what, MNW, I love Morpheus Network. I'm gonna change that up as well. So I'm gonna go into here, and actually I don't think this was the one. I think MNW, I think it was on Bittrex. And Bittrex was the one that has this right here. No, just keep, I'm going to say, even if it falls below here, that will probably just be market manipulators trying to wash you out of your position. Is to take you out of your position? I'll just say take you. Wash seems weird. I don't know. I'll just say take you out of your position. Just look at what happened with Woo. Just hold it. This is your long-term investing account. Remember that. Okay, so there you go. Just a reminder to myself that if it happens to fall below here, I will just hold it until it reaches here. And then also don't remember. Actually, sorry, don't remember. I'll say remember to take the Fibonacci once the bottom, is formed. Okay, that's going to be very, very, very important. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this and actually make this like this. There you go. And publish this right now. Actually, I want this to be over here. I'm going to publish it. And selling here, rebuy lower. That seems good to me. Yeah. All right. So next up we have Sand. Once again, another game, another metaverse play. Sandbox is going to be huge. There's already Snoop Dogg and Atari and so many people and so many companies within Sandbox that it's going to be a great metaverse play in my opinion. So this is the 88%. This is where I'm going to be buying. The 78.6%, yes, that is an incredible buy. It's almost too obvious though, you know. I do think that it'll hit and it'll bounce off the 78.6, but for Sand, I don't know why. It's just I'm more comfortable with Mana than Sand, and I think that Sand might have some BS going on with it in terms of price action. So that's why I'm gonna wait, and instead of buying it at the 78.6, I'm gonna buy it at the 88%. Because look, it bounced in the middle. It bounced up here. Like, what is it doing? It'll come down here. And now this is a big resistance. So if it comes down here, it'll have this big resistance and then probably fall back down. I don't know. It just seems like if it falls down here, this just seems so much better than here. Not even technically speaking, because this is obviously one day, like this is obviously not even good. Technically speaking, down here at $1.11 is the best price. But the 88% is usually like this, a pretty solid spot. So I don't know why. Maybe I'm just like overthinking this one, but obviously 2.3 is really good. And the 88, but the 88 just seems more likely. So you know what I'll do? I'll put a small amount in at 2.31, and then I'll put in a larger amount at 1.58, and that'll be my trade. So let me redo this for a second. Actually, well, wait a minute. Actually, maybe this is why. Looking at this now. Look at this. I'm looking. This Fibonacci isn't even right, unless there is no Fibonacci that you could draw in here. Let me do this real quick. Let me go into Sand, right? Let me go into Sand, click on this, take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top. What do you see? 50%. Okay, it did nail the 50%. It nailed the 23.6. 38.2 was pretty solid. It also nailed the 50%, but with 61%, why did it do this? This is really weird to me that it did this. It makes me think that this is not the right Fibonacci, you know, like, but there's not really a better place to do it from, unless maybe if you go to the weekly and then you go down here and you start at this bottom. Look at that. Look at this. Look at where it bounced off. 61.8. This is stupid. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 61.8 right in the golden pocket, and it bounced off of there all the way up. Okay, so now you see. So this is obviously the 61.8. I misread, or actually I put the Fibonacci on it wrong. It should have been here. It should not have been here, or here. It should have been here. So now that we know that the Fibonacci where it should be, now we have a much better indication of where we should buy it. And okay, this makes more sense, actually. The 88% is literally where the previous top used to be. So I'm going to set my orders right here at 1.19, which is right above the 88%, because you always want to, you don't want to get too greedy and miss it. So I'll set it here. And actually, to be honest, what I'll do is I will put it right here, which is 1.2, and then I'll put it a little bit above there. So I'll actually put it at 1.3 to be just above the wick of this candle right here, which was the high back in August, just to make sure I get it. And I'm going to do that because this looks like a good setup, technically speaking, and fundamentally speaking. This looks great. So this is where I'm going to be buying if sand does come back down to this level, and I'll go in pretty heavy. I'll go in heavy here because sand is pretty damn good. So let me just write this out and I'll be right back. Okay, actually, this is where it is. So I said sand is one of the biggest metaverse projects. It has loads of backers and endorsement from celebrities like Snoop Dogg and companies like Atari. It will most likely be a huge player in the metaverse along with Mana. Thinking about it, also thinking about more, I'm going to change it from sand. I'm going to bring it up. So MNW was number 8. Sand was number 9. I'm going to switch them to bring sand up to number 8. And Morpheus is going to go down to 9. And to be honest, I almost want to bring it up to up here. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'm going to bring sand up to 7. So Mana, and then sand, and then UOS, and then Morpheus Network. So that's going to be what this is about. And I'm going to save this, and this is where I'm going to get in at 1.3. Okay, so next up on the list, we have Luna. Luna has totally surprised me. It's been absolutely crazy. It's February. We're in the midst of a bear market, right? And yet, look at what Luna has done. It has rallied back to nearly its all-time highs. It's literally 18% away from its all-time highs. It's 13% away from the close of the all-time highs. Absolutely nuts. And I realized that like 78.6, no, I need to get in at the 61.8 and I need to bring it up a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit here and I'm going to put a little bit here because this is just such a strong project. It's absolutely nuts. So I need to do a little bit more of some technical analysis on this just to make sure that I'm getting in at the right spot, because I actually missed my buy by 13 or 15 cents right here. And I am so mad because I had a huge buy order originally for $43.50 or something like that. And it hit $43.30 and it hit $43.44. So it hit just 15 cents above my original buy. And I can't believe it, so I'm super mad about that. But I do really hope that Luna will come back down here and give me another shot to get in. And except this time, obviously, I will make sure that I get in here and not, and I'm not going to wait to get the exact 61.8 or the exact 78.6. So I'll try to get in there, and I will bring this up to be right here as well. And these will be my 2 buy zones if we get so lucky to have Luna come back down and grace us with another buying opportunity. Okay, so it's been a minute. I'm not sure if I said this, so I'll just do this really quickly. If Luna comes down to $45.48, I'm going to be buying it because it's right above the 61.8 where it'll make a double bottom and then shoot up. Maybe it'll go a little bit below that to, fake people out, scare people, and then it'll jump back up. Or maybe it'll come back down to 78.6 at around $27, $28, and then it'll shoot up from there. Either way, this is such an insanely good project. I am buying a ton. I'm buying some if it reaches here, and then if it reaches here, I'm going very, very heavy into Luna. Also, it is number 9 on my list. So I'm raising it up. It was down here somewhere, but now I'm raising it up to number 9, and I'm going to put the alert in right there. So yeah, Luna is actually above KDA and VXV at this point, and MNW, all these other ones. Yeah, Luna is just that good. So I want to make sure I get the metaverse plays and the gaming tokens right, but Luna, and honestly, even I don't know if it's as good as Sol. No, I'm gonna keep Sol up there because Sol has Sam Bankman-Fried. But yeah, Luna is definitely a big contender for a top coin of 2022. Okay, so next up we have Kadena KDA. It's currently somewhere around like $7, $8, and this one is a difficult one. So if you take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, you could see, well, I don't know why I said this one was a difficult one. It's not difficult at all. Take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, goes 61.8, boom, hit the golden ratio, pumped up to 30.2, amazing. I played this out perfectly. And then it came down again to the 61.8, did not get the good balance, but fell to 78.6. Had a nice support there, really nice support at the 78.6, and then jumped up. If we get a fall in the markets, which is what I still think there might be another fall in the markets, it will reach $3.03. Maybe, yeah, it'll reach $3.03 right above the 88%. Maybe the 78.6 was the top. It might have been the top. I mean, excuse me, the bottom. But just given what I already have a position in KDA already. I actually bought it around $10. I bought it right here, sold it right here, bought it back right here, and then I think I did sell some of it right here, but I'm just gonna wait. And then if it happens to come to 88, to $3.30, $3.30, that's when I'm gonna be buying it. And I do have 75 cents. Thinking about this now, I don't think it's gonna hit 75 cents. So I'm gonna I gotta redo this. This is why I'm doing this. So let me just go into KDA real quick and just make sure that I put down. I don't think that I'm just gonna say, I don't think it'll reach here, but if it does, I will buy. So that's basically KDA right there. And nothing much else to say about KDA. All right, so now we have Vector Space AI, VXV. Obviously, it's a big one. A lot of people love this one. It has the potential to do 100x. So obviously, this is huge. This is one that is very, very, very far out in terms of like how long it's going to take before the type of technology that they're creating and they're building actually becomes relevant. But it is, well, I mean, not becomes relevant, but becomes like able to be used and like really mainstream, or I guess like that it would be reflected in the price. So it might take a while, but the fundamentals are so insanely good on this one. So I'm definitely loading up right here. It's currently sitting at $2.11. If it happens, I already have a bag of this. So if it happens to fall down to 52 cents, then I'm going to buy a big bag, because if you look on this chart right here, this you could see the insane amount of support it had at just around 52 cents. So there was even 2 wicks down there. So if it does fall down here again, I'm buying a lot, because if you do this is a 4,000% plus gains back up to its all-time high from the 52 cent mark. So yeah, and the fundamentals are so good. So I definitely will be buying a lot of it here, and just literally I'll have to do some more analysis on when to sell it, but I'll probably be selling it at these levels, all of these levels, like here, just to sell and rebuy. So let me put that in here. Next up, we got QRDO, which is Credo. And this one, man, I was so disappointed in this, because I had a sell order right here. I bought it right here, and then I had a sell order right here, and I didn't freaking sell it. So now I'm holding on to it, and if it comes back up here, I'm going to sell it for a rebuy, and eventually I will want to sell it right around here. But right now, actually, I don't know. Looking at this, maybe I feel like I should lower this to here. It's a good thing I'm going through this with you right now, because I'm updating this as I'm going, and I already updated it literally just yesterday. I spent so much time on this, but I'm gonna update it again to be a little bit more accurate. Okay, so this was before, and this is after. So this is what I'm doing now. If it comes down to 79 cents, I'm going to be buying, and then I'll just be selling here, rebuying a little bit below here, selling here, rebuying a little bit below, and just doing that consistently up until here, where I'm going. But in this area, I'm going to cash out 10% each, and then here I'm going to cash out 20%, and then here I'm going to cash out the rest right here. And that's going to be my game plan for Credo Network. All right, so now we have Glitch, and Glitch, I'm waiting for 23 cents. That seems like a really good place to buy, because it's basically the bottom. The bottom's 14, 15 cents, but I would want to get in a little bit below the bottom and simply just wait for Glitch, and then I will sell and rebuy at 74 cents, $1.26, and then ooh, this should have been cashed out, whatever. But I'm going to cash out 90% at $2.63. And then after that, after Glitch, we have Parsec Network, PRQ. honestly, I feel like this is a really good project, and I'm going to be buying it at 15 cents, just over 15 cents if it reaches there, because you could see this is basically the bottom. I mean, yeah, this one goes down to 5 cents, 6 cents, but I'll buy it around here. I'm totally fine buying it here. It could fall another, I guess technically it could fall another 80, 90%, 50%, but I mean, this is a project, like all these other projects, they're investments, long-term investments, and possibly from the bottom to here, 600%, bottom to the top, 1700%. It's possible, but that these will reach these levels if they do really well, and that's all you could really hope for in your investments, because there is a little bit different than trades, But yeah, this is Parsec. And after that, after Parsec, we have ALBT, and this it's basically one that could go times 100 or go to 0, like basically all of them. But this one, yeah, it's Alliance block, and this is the lowest price, 16 cents, basically. 16 cents is the lowest price. You could see it right around, I think right here, 0.1598, right? So if it hits 16 cents, that's what I'm going to be buying. I guess I'll put an alert in, at 16 cents just to make sure I have the alert. And yeah, I'm just going to buy a little bit here because I already have some from much higher up, and I'll buy some here and then have the orders to sell along the way up. Next up, we got Boston Protocol, another metaverse play. This one did really, really well during the whole metaverse boom, but obviously it crashed when the whole market crashed back in November. And so now I'm looking to scoop some up at some good prices. Did scoop some up at 81 cents, and it's right above there now, which is not too bad. But I am actually, if we press play, it is at 83 cents, so not really that far above. But regardless, I have some right now. If it comes down to 47 cents, I'm going to be buying more. And I'm going to be setting in my orders, here, 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 and here to just be selling out and rebuying lower and cashing out. And that's going to be my game plan for Boston Protocol. Next up, I have Axie Infinity, and honestly, this is not a long-term investment. This is simply a trade, so I need to switch it out, but whatever. I have it written down, so this is it. I'm going to be doing this trade for hopefully 70% gains, buying at $24.26 and selling it at $41.43. I put this, I don't know where the actual text box is, but I really don't think that Axie Infinity is going to see its all-time highs again. I think the game, it had the cycle, it blew up, and then it fell. So I expect it to fall here and then have a little bounce or 70% bounce. So I'm definitely going to be putting this trade on, but this is not one to hold. This is just a trade for Axie. One thing that I will say for Axie is that if it hits 504 sats when it comes to Bitcoin against Bitcoin, I'm going to buy some over here as well and try to put on another trade. So I do have this too. Sometimes I look at it for USDT, and also I look at it for Bitcoin. And this is it against Bitcoin. So I should probably go back into all of the coins I just listed and look at them against Bitcoin as well, and then buy them at certain levels against Bitcoin. So I'll end up doing that also, and making another video, I guess, on against Bitcoin levels. But yeah, this is going to be Axie against Bitcoin. And actually looking at it one more time, I will also buy a little bit from 78.6, not a whole lot, but I will buy some at the 78.6 just because there was this nice confluence of support back here. So I'll buy some at $38.31 to try to sell here, and then maybe it'll come back down here and I'll try to sell there again. We'll see what happens, but this is the game plan for now, at least. Okay, so I have AKT, Akash Network, and basically if it hits 73 cents, I'm going to be buying a little bit just for my investment portfolio, selling here to rebuy lower, cashing out here along with selling to rebuy lower, and same thing here, and then I'm just going to cash out if it reaches its all-time highs again. I'm going to cash out 95%. So that's going to be AKT. You could actually only get this on Ascend EX and Kraken and a few other ones, but hopefully it will be listed on KuCoin eventually, and hopefully that will give it a nice little spike. We'll see what happens, but yeah, this is Akash Network. Okay, so next up we have Woo, and Woo is a little bit controversial. I was all about Woo for a long time, and someone on Twitter kept on pushing it super hard. They had a really big Twitter push, and then it just, totally crashed and plummeted. And it's like, fundamentally speaking, it's incredible. So I don't really know what's going on, but other than the fact that like the whole market, is tanking and stuff, but it's still a fundamentally sound project. I have a lot of it. I didn't really sell it. It's sort of annoying because I don't want to say I got swindled by the guy on Twitter, but like he basically did pump the bags hard and then sold off into people, and like he didn't really mention that he was selling and making millions of dollars doing so. So that's pretty annoying, but whatever. Woo is still a good project and it has a lot of potential. We'll see what happens. I mean, maybe bullish, not bullish as in bullish or bearish, but there's a company called Bullish that's coming out with an exchange, and that it might screw Woo Network over. I don't really know what's exactly going to happen, but Woo, it has the most liquidity. It has zero trading fees. It's incredible. I think it's just getting hammered by regulations. So I feel like they will eventually do very well, but I don't know. I think I just need to do an in-depth video on Woo Network to really make sure that I want to have as much as I have, because I have a lot. I do have a lot of Woo, and so I have enough Woo right now. But if it comes down to 26 cents, this is right around here, 25, 26 cents. I would say 25, but 25 is so obvious, so I'll do 26. If it comes down here, this would be definitely the place that I would want to buy, because it's just like, it would be such a clear fake breakdown if it did break down here and then shoot back up, and lots of support. So I have enough, but if it reaches 26 cents, I'll be buying more, and then I'll be selling on the way up, like here and here and here. And, obviously I will have to redo the Fibonacci to make sure that it lines up. But otherwise, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be buying it at 26 cents. I already bought some here. I have a lot. So yeah, that's going to be Woo. Okay, so next up we got Ecomi, and Ecomi is really, really big in the NFT, going to be really, really big in the metaverse, and I already own some. I got some on Uniswap a long time ago, and then I bought some on Ascend, and it's only on Ascend EX right now, so it has to be listed on KuCoin before I could, before I would want to buy more, but hopefully it will be listed on KuCoin. So if it comes down to 0.0, basically 0.0022205. If it comes down here, I'll buy some, just as a punt, long-term investment punt, and, see what happens with it. And then after that, sorry, I don't know what I was saying. After that, we have Illuvium, ILV, one of the biggest crypto games in the world. I feel like this is going to be absolutely massive when it comes out. Crypto gaming is the future, in my opinion, so I definitely want to get a big bag of this, and I do have a big bag of that, a really big bag of this, and it's staked right now. It's staked for years. I bought it and I staked it, and I'm getting like 80% per year or something like that, so I'm getting a lot of ILV, and this is it against Bitcoin. So if ILV reaches this many sats against Bitcoin, 1140, then I will buy some more against, against USD. Then I'll probably buy some maybe if it reaches here. I just feel like this is 30%, right, from where it is, and this is this less? This is actually less. Oh crap, this is 17%, 18%. So, but this Bitcoin would have to either rally or Bitcoin would have to fall. It would be different. I just feel like the Bitcoin ILV against Bitcoin is better, but looking at it, I guess I will buy it at $432 if it reaches there. Let's check to see if there is something with more data, and maybe if we click that. Okay, so yes, here is a good data point, $415. Is that the same? Basically 410. And then ILV. excuse me, ILV for Tether is 430. So basically anywhere between $400 and $430 is the ideal price. It's definitely going to bounce from here because this is, look, you know what this looks like? Look at this. This looks exactly like Cardano, right? And Cardano bounced from $1. It came down, boom, or it came down right here, boom, and had this really nice 40% bounce, 50% bounce from here, and it actually bounced twice, once early and then once again, and then it had a little bit of a bounce, and now it's, you know, down here. And I'm shorting the heck out of it, so hopefully it comes up to 105 so that I could, or maybe like 101 so I could like finish shorting it. But yeah, ILV, if ILV Illuvium comes back to $415, that's a really good buy. So I'm definitely going to be buying it at that price, and I will post this in the alerts as well, just because this is so obvious. And so yeah, I'm gonna do that. 415, that's gonna be my investment price for Illuvium. And actually, just thinking about it a little bit more, I will be selling what I buy at 420 at 720 for a solid 70% gain, because I'm probably gonna buy a lot. And this is a very big resistance right here. So actually, I'll sell it a little bit below there. So I'll sell it right here at $673. And that's going to be so I already have an investment. So I will buy some if it reaches, I'll buy more if it reaches 420. Actually, 420 is such a hilarious number. So I'm definitely making this 420, 425 just because 420 is too much, right? And so I'm going to make this 425. I'm going to buy it at 425, and then I'm going to sell everything that I have available at 670, because I have so much being staked right now. My position size on this would be insane. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with this as the game plan, and then whenever my stuff gets unstaked after a year, whenever, then I could determine when I'm gonna buy the next round, you know. Okay, and now we have Atlas, Star Atlas. Star Atlas is also one that is one of the top crypto games. It's basically Star Atlas and Illuvium. Those are the two biggest crypto games available, and they will be absolutely massive. So I definitely want to accumulate as much as possible. And so I have a ton of Atlas right now, just like how I have a ton of Illuvium. I have a ton of Atlas. I'm going to be buying more if it reaches the low, or wherever it started from, you know, right below the low. It started at 0.001399. So I'm going to buy it at 0.0049, you know, just a few hundredths of a cent above the very low of the low, right? So I'm gonna buy it here because, actually, let me actually look at this, because now that I'm actually seeing this might actually be too far above. So from here to here, this is a 240% gain, a 230%, and the drop would be 50. The drop would be 70% from here. So that actually might be a little bit too high, to be honest. But I know it's not going to hit the bottom. I want to get in before the bottom. 70% below the bottom might be a little bit too much. So maybe I'll lower it to 0. What was it? Is it 497? So maybe 3.1. That could be good. 3.1. I don't want to be greedy. I just really don't want to be greedy. Nah, that's fine. Whatever. I'll leave it. I will leave it at 497. It's probably not even going to hit there, but I'll leave it there. And because honestly, it's just like, I don't know. This is, I feel like I have confidence, and I do have confidence in Star Atlas. I do have confidence in Illuvium. So I have confidence in this project. I do believe that this project will bounce back again. Only issue though is that there are incredible amounts of money in VC firms for Star Atlas. So honestly, oh man, now that I think about it, they're going to be selling. They're just going to be selling so hard. The sell pressure is going to be so much. Screw it. I'll bring it down a little bit. Nah, I'll bring it down to 3.9. How about that? I'll bring it down to 3 now. I'll bring it from 4.9 to 3.9. I'll do that. And yeah, that's going to be it. So obviously I have Star Atlas here, and if it comes, once it once it bottoms out, I need to redraw the fib. So yeah, I wrote this. Yeah, I'm holding it for years, only selling at key resistance levels and buying back lower. However, when it does reach here, I will cash out. Actually, I don't know if I want to cash, because this is a game that could really, really, really blow up. Really, I mean, it already blew up, but I think it'll reach, I'm pretty confident that it'll reach all-time highs again, because whenever the gaming sector comes on board, like, it's just, there's going to be a wave. There's going to be a huge wave of people onboarding these games, and Star Atlas is definitely going to be a big one. So I want to keep it, but I'm going to say what I say on all of them, which is that once it bottoms, be sure to draw the fib so you know exactly where to sell and rebuy. So I'm going to have to do that. So yeah, this is going to be Star Atlas. I'm going to buy it at 0.003975. Okay, so we are finally at the last one that I charted, which is Trias. So I don't know why I put it as Trias, but it's Trias. So Trias, I think this is a coin with a lot of potential. 70% partners, 70 plus partners, and there's a lot of developers. There's a lot of stuff going for it. So I like Trias. We had a buy right here, great buy for long-term investment at $3.84, and pumped up pretty nice from there. It's a solid 21%. But now I'm just gonna wait, because obviously this is in case. All of these buys are just in case the price falls, and let's say the price falls another 65%. These are more like, I don't want to call these black swan events, these things happening for me to get into a lot of these coins, but a lot of them will require the market to tank severely. And it's like, I hope it does, and I hope it doesn't. I don't know, because I'm in a lot of these coins right now. But these are for my long-term investment buys in case it hits these, and I'm going to be buying more. So anyway, I bought some right now, or not right now, but I bought some around $3.83. And if it happens to fall down another 70% down to $1.12, $1.34, then I'm definitely going to be buying a lot more for my long-term portfolio. And I'm just gonna buy it and then right here, this one is definitely a place where I will be selling to rebuy lower. Same thing right here and same thing right here. So, and I need to cash out. I'm going to be cashing out here. I'm going to be cashing out here. So yeah, that is Trias. And if I go back to my portfolio and I look at everything, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that I have. I guess there's Geek, XPR, UFO. So there's a few other ones. And I'm gonna have to go through these, go through these other ones and figure this out. And I'll put all these ones up in another video along with these. I'll go through these again next month. So every month I'll go through them. I'll rehash these different charts, and we will see if they hit or if they didn't hit and everything. But we got 24 right now, and I probably have 30 coins total, 30 to 40 coins total that I'm in, probably more close to 40 that I'm in that I still could chart. And so I'm going to chart the rest of them later, because I got the vast majority of them. I got the big ones, and yeah, that's I feel like this is a pretty solid video. I guess I'll just also end this with the fact that I do still have some NFTs. These are all probably going to zero. So maybe Soul Chicks might do very well. I don't know. But pretty much I got to wait until all the... Oh, My Pet Hooligans. This one I'm very, 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 very excited about. Also, I got a few other things like Splinterlands. Splinterlands is probably is a game that I feel is also going to be very, very, very big, just like Illuvium. And it's still, under the radar for the most part. And then Chumby Valley is another possible hidden gem. And then there's these other ones that are possible hidden gems. I think whenever I think there will be a gaming, mania, a crypto gaming mania. And so that's why I have a lot of these games, and I don't know what's going to happen for real, but might as well have it because I really feel strongly that there's going to be a big crypto gaming mania sometime in the future within the next few years. And if you could get all of them now or when the prices are really, really low, I mean, that's obviously the best thing to do. I mean, let me just look up SPS, see if you could get it. So you can't really get SPS, which is Splinterlands right now, on anything except for Sushi Swap. But yeah, it's pretty low. I don't know. I don't really know what's going to go on with SPS, but it should. I mean, it should boom if the game goes very, very well. So we're going to see what happens. I don't know. Obviously, none of this has been investment advice. This is all just what I'm doing, just showing you what I'm doing. And then this is all for my investment portfolio. For my trading portfolio, I have my $100,000 trading account. So basically, it's my trading challenge where I am sharing everything I'm doing with my $100,000 portfolio. And I started that a couple of weeks ago. I'm already up, I think, like 12% or something total, which is insane. So because 12% is what the average like S&P 500 has been during this bull run over the last 10 years. So the fact that I'm 12% in like 3 weeks is absolutely phenomenal. And we'll see if I could keep that up. And other than that, we will keep on watching for the market update. Keep on watching to see when the Crypto Elite Mastery course version 2.0 comes out. And keep on watching for a lot more content where I, go through my thought process and everything. Also, if you have over $100,000, you may be eligible to join my, basically to join my crypto hedge fund that I'm starting. It's going to be a few months, probably half a year, to be honest, before it actually, gets totally finished and is ready for investors. But if you do have over $100,000 and you want to invest, then shoot me a DM and I will put you on the list. I'll make a website with an email list for it for the future, and that's all coming later down the road. So I think that's going to be it. So keep on stacking those sats, keep on making those gains, and I'll see you in the next video.